How to check for a head gasket the easy and best way using compressed air and a chemical tester. To run through what's taking place really fast before actually showing you how to take care of the problem, here we have the head gasket. This head gasket is what seals the block and head together. The head will sit on top of this gasket. As you know, this is the block with the cylinders. Here we have all of the oil passages, and we also have the passages for the coolant to pass through the engine. Not to mention there's a lot of pressure in the combustion chamber. What happens? The seal is broken because the engine overheats, the head is warped, the block also damaged, depending on what they're made of. Used to be a cheap, simple fix, not anymore. Often these exhaust gases make it out of the cylinder, that's right, because of this damage from it being warped. Then it will go into the cooling system through one of the cooling passages. Our chemical tester is probably the cheapest method because you can go and get this from your local hardware store. It won't cost you $1. You can rent it if you need to. Next up, the only money you lose is a few dollars in fluid, and you can get a giant jug of this fluid on Amazon. It's probably better than buying it per single purchase like this because you're going to pay a little more, but not much, usually about 10 bucks, and you only use a little bit, but you'll be able to keep this stuff forever. First thing we need to do is make sure the engine is completely cool, and we will remove the radiator cap. Guys, you do not need a radiator pressure test kit unless you have a leak elsewhere in the system that's actually coming out on the ground, not exhaust. Also, you want to think twice before using something like this, a sealant, because you can really clog up your heater core and who knows what else, and it may not work. Now, if it comes down to you getting rid of the vehicle, just not repairing it or fixing it, or you're going to try this before you send it to the junkyard, well, maybe it's worth it to you then. However, please don't do it just for a simple radiator leak. But if the engine on its way out, like I said, and it's not worth the fix, you spending the money, maybe you should consider using such a product. Real quick, this is the leak down tester, and with this and some compressed air, believe it or not, much better than a compression test or anything of that nature, you can identify the exact point and where the problem area is. However, I will say one thing, you may want to rent it because this will cost a little bit more. Now with the cap off, engine cool, what we'll do is go ahead and start the vehicle up. And if it starts bubbling from the rip of starting it, well, that's definitely not a good sign, and those are exhaust gases coming back out. As you can see, there's no excessive bubbling. However, keep in mind, sometimes the issue is very minute. In the beginning, you only lose a small amount of fluid at a time, so small, it'll take you a moment to notice. Now let's go ahead and turn the vehicle back off. What I'll do is you need to remove some of this fluid first. You want to add some extra room so fluid won't be spilled everywhere when performing the test. Remove radiator cap and check coolant level. Siphon or drain 2 to 3 inches below opening. A higher level will permit coolant to be drawn into leak check, contaminating the test fluid. Fill leak check to the line with the fluid. So we'll go ahead, add this. Go ahead, open our fluid up. Now we'll add it to the line. Next, we'll add the bulb. Squeeze aspirator bulb 2 times. If it turns from the blue-green color to a yellow, then you know there's a problem. As you can see, there isn't a problem on this one. They even give instructions how to locate leak, different types of engines. Now if you see a more yellowish color like this, which this is somewhat clear, I'm just giving you an example, you definitely have that leak. Remove this, replace your radiator cap, turn your engine off, you're good to go. Remember, if you do not find the root cause of the problem, specifically if you have a radiator or something blocking these passages, guess what? It's going to overheat and you're going to have the problem once again. So make sure to find out what the problem actually is. I'm sure you're aware that the fan itself can be a problem. However, it just not working, stopped like this, isn't enough. You also know sometimes if it's not spinning fast enough to the proper speed, well, there's another issue. Guys, make sure to find the cause. As I've stated, any information you could give is greatly appreciated to help others. Thank you for watching Nate's Interactive Auto.